Hello, everybody. We're going to have a talk. I got a lot of questions, a lot of people putting stuff forward. It's crossing over into USA and Canada. People asking me about residential genocide in those children's bodies. A lot, a lot of people are falling for Trudeau, Singh, and O'Toole. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. For Treaty Indians, you got to get off the USA. Because I'm going to tell you right now, apples and oranges. American Indian War, I've shared that out to a number of people. The maps are found clearly on my timeline for years. You can see language overlap, regional overlap. We even know of treaties very much older than even Canada itself, enforced by the United States of America for the American Indian and the Canadian Treaty Indian. All overlaps, those regional maps. We know it's all one continent for the First Peoples. However, America is not Canada. Canada is not America. When we get into residential school genocide, USA is a P5 member. And I'm going to tell everybody again, it's in my modules. It's in my modules, ladies and gentlemen. Richard Nixon ended all of it in 1974, completed by his vice president, who became president post Richard Nixon's resignation. Watergate. Nobody ever looks at the rest of it, even though he has monumental civil rights, human rights completions in this world today. In fact, we couldn't even get self-determination seen for the American Indian if it had not been for the preliminary work that Richard Nixon completed in 71. He got China, Communist Beijing Party, to sign the Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, sealing the deal, giving the power of a president over all 50 states. That's the difference here, ladies and gentlemen. When we start looking at northern states in the USA, just like southern states in slavery, presidents don't get certain executive powers over the Constitution of the states, which in Canada they do. They have crown power over all of it, and there are absolutely no provincial constitutions whatsoever, meaning no Canadian or any first person has any civil rights unless the Crown says he does, but often they take it away whenever they want. The United States of America, for the federal government to impose their will, they must win a strategic win executively with their executive power with the UNSC P5. They must win it. They must make a treaty. That is how great presidents have been able to change and alter the course of all 50 states. That's how they do it. There is nothing in this world like the United States of America, the Constitution, or the executive power of a president. Win the world, win what's right, and then he can take, or she can take, all 50 states in that narrative. You must win a world treaty. That's the only way. Richard Nixon was not able to complete those monumental tasks until in his years he won the P5 members, and he did. He took Beijing. Once that was completed, you watch all of his monumental tasks for the American Indian complete, which absolutely self-determination, self-government, and settling claims. Not the same for Canada. Even though these laws are enforced, Canada said, nope, just like all the rest, nope, we're colonial crown. We're just like Nazi Germany. We have the exact same build that you imposed to end in Germany 1945. However, Canada just continued exactly like Nazi Germany until even today, right now, as I give you this video. This is the truth. This is reality. Right now, ICC, which steadily is pumping out massive education as we go forward. Canada, everybody, Canada's listed now, absolutely, for now 6 weeks, with the worst ranked genocidal maniac countries in the world with the grossest violations. Canada's now listed with them. Trudeau is so scared. O'Toole and Singer are so scared. They're touring. They're touring all over right now. Save the best for last. I'm right behind them. I'm right behind them with the real truth, the real path forward that they can't dispute. Now, genocidal maniac Justin Trudeau and his entire corrupt family, as are all of them. It's not to single out Trudeau, even though he's one of the worst. His dad, Chrétien, goes on and on. Liberals, 2/3 of the time. There's no excuse for any liberal whatsoever. Justin Trudeau was raised and he knows the crown power. He is well versed. All of his father's handlers are still alive, and they're handling Justin Trudeau too. He now sends out water, bottles of water from the finest Walmart's big bottles and all the major distributors. He's paying out the nose right now. No expense paid. It's summertime. If there's going to be any kind of push forward, I'm going to make sure every filthy third-class Canadian borrows to the nose. We will raise taxes beyond all measure to make sure everybody has these bottled waters flowing in. Do you know what it's like to cook with bottled water, or to have a shower or bath with bottled water? This is a band-aid on a genocide. There's no viability here. Why isn't Trudeau saying, hey, I got an idea. Let's go around with all the premiers. Let's settle the claims. Self-determination, self-government. Let's make sure all the First Peoples have viable land, which they choose, a great percentage of this country, and let's settle up the rest for all Canadians. Well, Trudeau doesn't want to do that. Neither does Singh, neither does O'Toole. First Peoples, specifically the Canadian Indian, while Trudeau's flying out all this bottled water at the absolute expense of the taxpayer. Not the Trudeau Foundation or Aaron O'Toole's business dealings or all his foundations or Jagmeet Singh and his unions that are behind him. Do you think any of them are going to pay? In exactly 2 hours, I'm going to be running through unions and the Indian Act. We're going to be going through the last 4, 5, and 6 modules before we start on our UN resolution. We're going to crucify Justin Trudeau, Jagmeet Singh, Aaron O'Toole, Maxime Bernier, and the list goes on and on and on. It's time to end all the liars, the thieves, the genocidal maniacs. The real problems in our society today is absolutely the first-class politician and all their appointments. I've heard all the excuses, even from the First Nations themselves. Oh, we have to follow the sworn oath. That's the only way we got to do. You don't have any right to commit a genocide or violate human rights because you swore an oath. That's like me saying, I swore that if I didn't like somebody, to some friends of mine, I would kill them. That doesn't make it right. It doesn't matter who your friend is. You go to prison for that. It's a crime. The ICC's rolling out exactly what they're getting ready to do with other nations. Educating folks like you in Canada. All of you at home can go on the ICC. They're just rolling out a tremendous amount of education on a daily basis, telling you how they arrest politicians in your country, how countries come together, specifically the P5, how the Blue Helmets are going, Canada or no Canada, G7 or no G7, NATO or no NATO. Unfortunately, that's not privy of Justin Trudeau, Aaron O'Toole, or Jagmeet Singh, Maxime Bernier, and the list goes on and on. There's no justification in what our government's doing. They've been raping, pillaging, plundering, and absolutely exploiting your rights, specifically your human rights, which are not privy to that filthy, corrupt first class. Justin Trudeau can fly millions of bottles of water, big jugs of water, on airplanes, absolutely at millions and millions of dollars expense to the third class, which doesn't rectify any problems, which will not address this coming cold, frosted, frozen winter. does not make for any kind of monumental move forward except for drain, 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 print more money, and make the country weaker and weaker, and do very little to nothing for the First Peoples in any real meaningful way. Why is it not settle the claims, more lands, more viable lands, First Nations first choice, self-determination, self-government, pick a portion of the GDP generating crown lands, trillions of dollars in assets. Let those people go. Let Canadians go. Let Canadians and the First Peoples move forward. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. I'm taking the hard way. Going to build a federal party. We're going to get it done for all Canadians and all First Peoples. We're going to finish with the ICC. If anyone's going to get that done, it's us right here. And even more than that, we're building a resolution, which following tonight, we're going to have everything for everybody, and the submissions are going to start, and the narrative's going to start on building a resolution presented by a P5 member, voted by the P5 and the entire UNSC, that will be absolutely binding on Canada and all nations who participate like Canada. I'm invited. I'm bringing Tina Marovich with me. We're going to be going into comparative colonial law internationally with the best legal experts in that field, ranked number 1 in the world, number 1, 3, and 8. All 3 of them. Most books, most knowledge. Definitely got the number 1. Justin Trudeau, Jagmeet Singh, Aaron O'Toole, Maxime Bernier, and all the rest of the goofballs who've held any kind of party power position, who've been a privy council or been part of the crown, being elected, your days are numbered. It's coming to an end. You, the governments, are listed with the worst genocidal maniac countries in the world today. The UNSC gave the Day of Children's Genocide, and Canada was listed. They were not rebutted by anybody, not one P5 member or not one elected UNSC sitting member came to Canada's defense. Zero, none, nada. To be listed with those countries says a lot. The other thing is, we're not going to overlap children's genocide with the United States of America. We're not going to do it. I've just explained why. The major reason why is USA is a UNSC P5 member. This is the exact same narrative to try and get Canada's politicians off with a slap on the wrist again, to trick Canadian Indians, to trick Canadians into thinking that it's a good idea to focus on the United States. The United States ended their atrocities in 1975, absolutely over. Canada, from 1975 till today, and all the rest of it, all the way back to 1945, has clear and absolute ties to this genocide over and over at a worse and worse rate as you go. And the crime is being committed right now as I'm talking to all of you. The politicians are finished. They had since 1948 to end this, to amend their constitution. They said, you know what? We'll take our chances. We'll rape all the people and murder as many Indians as we can until somebody makes us do otherwise. And since we're the crown, we create an oath system to force all of our justice system to swear allegiance to whatever genocidal ideas we have. We're never going to get ratted out. Today's the day the third, second class, and the Canadian Indian, all First Peoples, are going to take that away from them. It's already happening. The work's already done. Stay tuned for my modules, the 3 last ones, 4, 5, and 6, coming in a couple hours. We're going to finish it off. We're going to start on the resolution. We have many narratives. Running in the elections, one of them. There are many ways to skin a cat. The reality is no matter what the corrupt, dirty governments do, there's no way out of this. There's nothing they can do. It's over. It's just a matter of time. Thank you, everybody. This is my video. Share, share, share. Don't be a cuck. Don't be a fool. If you work for a living, you're average Joe Jane. What Trudeau, O'Toole, singing, they're all doing it. They're all perpetuating it. What they're doing is wrong, wrong, wrong. Don't vote for these pricks. Don't bring this forward anymore. It's you, the people, have to stop and say, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. We're not going to be your whipping boy, your whipping girl, you're exploited, or worse, you're genocidal. First Peoples, third and second class, have to come together on all this. We got to stop with the crown. You have to tell your chiefs, stop with the crown. That's coming to an end. And as ICC rolls out on a daily basis, you have no rights to human rights. There's no crown oath that's going to save you. It's been outlawed. Just because your corrupt politicians are corrupt doesn't mean you take appointments or yourself electing your systems to that sworn oath and it gives you a pass. It doesn't. For Canadians and First Peoples, specifically Treaty Indians, tell your chiefs just that. You don't get a pass on your oath to the crown. That's been abolished. That's been abolished for a very, very long time. And just because no Canadian lawyer can break the oath to get this job done doesn't mean the job isn't getting done, because I can assure you it's getting done. And the heat is growing and growing and growing. The days are numbered. It's almost over for them. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll see you in just a few hours for the last set of modules. Then we're going to begin on the UN resolution we're going to build and bring forward. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Hope this helps, everybody. Share, share, share. I know a lot of people have questions. I know.